Same Pet from 1983, and the very first episode is called If I Were a Carpenter. So, in this very first episode, we meet 3 bricklayers from Newcastle called Dennis, Oz, and Neville. They are trying to find work because there isn't any work in the construction industry in England in the 1980s. They decide to go over to Germany. So, what happens is that they leave their respective families. So, Dennis leaves his wife and his 2 children, who his wife has recently left him and moved in with another man. Oz has never been happy with his wife, and they both have affairs, and they've got a son. And then you've got Neville, who recently got married and is very much in love with his wife. So, as they're travelling over to Germany, they take the mickey out of Neville for loving his wife and everything like that. But all in all, it's all done in jest. When they get over to Germany, they go and meet the contractor for a large company that run a number of building sites around Germany, and they get themselves jobs on a site in the city of Dusseldorf. Now, because all 3 of them are bricklayers, they could only the site that they're working on only needed 2 bricklayers. So Neville has to pretend to be a carpenter. At the same time, they meet a person that has worked with Dennis before, previously in Germany, called Barry, who's an electrician from Wolverhampton. And they talk to him, and they find out that he's going to a different building site in a different city, and they wish him luck and everything like that. So, then what happens is that when they're leaving, they meet a carpenter from London called Wayne, who says, "Look, you're going to Dusseldorf, yeah? Well, I've got myself a job there as well. Would you mind giving me a lift?" He said, "Unfortunately, look, no, sorry, we can't. It's only the 3 of us and all our stuff. We can't really fit you in. Sorry about that, mate." He's a bit peeved off with that, because he thought, well, look, they can give me a lift. I'm sure they could. So Dennis, Neville, and Oz are driving along, and their car breaks down. And once they figure out it can't be fixed, Oz drives past in a big juggernaut and says, "Sorry lads, unfortunately I can't give you a lift." So, arriving late on the site in Dusseldorf, they're all expecting to go to the hostel where Dennis has been previously, and sleep there. But unfortunately, all the hostel places have already been taken, and so the only place where they can stay is on site in wooden huts. Oz and Neville and Dennis are not happy about this. On the way to the hut, they meet another bricklayer, who is a man from the West Country called Bomber, and he says, "Well, look, I am living in there. The rest of the people in there are all right. They're quite fun people. You'll have a laugh. They're all Englishmen, so it's at least you don't have to fraternise with any of the nationalities that are working on the site." So, next morning, we find out that Wayne is also living in their hut, and Neville, Dennis, and Oz have all made up with Wayne for not giving him a lift. And because obviously Neville has to pretend to be a carpenter, Wayne has also promised that he'll help him out and not drop him in it with the boss if he comes around and says he's not really a carpenter. So over the week, we see that Neville is A, very homesick for England and his wife, but also really isn't liking his work as a carpenter. He would much prefer to be working as a bricklayer. And then once the week was over and he got paid, Neville says, look, I've had enough. I'm going to go home. I can't do it anymore. You know, I can't be bothered to lie to the people in charge. I can't be bothered to lie to my wife. I'm not happy. I'm going home. Because Dennis was like, no, look, Neville, stick out for another week. Get a few more Deutschmarks in your pocket before you go home. Okay? So, he does. He says, okay, alright, okay, I'll wait until next weekend, then I'll leave. Okay, then, start of the week, Neville has an accident and cuts his hand, and the people in charge of the site realise that he isn't really a carpenter, but he's a bricklayer. And he says, okay, look, how about this? I'll finish off working the rest of the week as a bricklayer, then I'm going. Okay? I'll do that. Then Dennis was like, alright, okay, how about this? Friday night, once we finish work, we all go out. We go out into the old town of Dusseldorf, we have a few beers, we have a good laugh, and you'll see Dusseldorf as it is at night, because he hasn't been out previously. The rest of the time, all the other evenings, he's been at home in the hut, while everyone else has gone out gallivanting. So, Friday night comes, they're all ready, and they all hit Dusseldorf Old Town. And after a few drinks and all that sort of stuff, after a few hours out, Dennis is like, alright, look, I'm going to call it a night, I'm heading home. He says to Bomber and to Oz, look after Neville, make sure he doesn't lose any of his money, he doesn't get too drunk, and he doesn't get into any trouble. They're like, alright, fair enough, we will. Next morning, Dennis wakes up. Bomber, Oz, Wayne, and Barry are all sleeping in their bunks. Dennis has a look. Neville's, he isn't there. He goes and wakes up Oz and says, look, man, where's Neville? Where is he? And he says, I don't know, he went off. Afterwards, he kind of, don't know where he went. Around this point, Neville walks in, holding his arm, looking all sad and crying and all depressed. He says, I could never go back, Den. I could never go back to England. I just can't. I just can't face it. He says, wait, why not? Because if he lost all your money, no, I've got all my money. What happened is, I've got this. And he rolls up his shirt, and he's got a big tattoo with a heart with saying Neville and Lottie. He's like, and Dennis is like, who's Lottie? He says, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. That is Auf Wiedershen Pet, episode 1, If I Was a Carpenter, and I'm going to give it a score of 4. Hope you enjoy this, and I shall see you next week. Goodbye.